I'm about to log on to my very first class. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna click in. I'll see you later. Feeling good. Feeling very overwhelmed. Originally, I was going to... Oh, my computer just restarted. Originally, I was going to write, and then I was gonna go to the gym, and then I was gonna treat myself to going to the park. But I've decided that I am gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna work out all of this nervous energy, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna write. Hi, hello, welcome. I guess I haven't actually welcomed you to this vlog. This is my first week of classes. It is my first week back to writing, and I'm so excited to get back to writing. It's also just like my first week back to like real life after a long vacation. How am I feeling about writing? We will talk about it, I'm sure, throughout this whole week, but I'm feeling good. I have no idea what I'm gonna work on. I have no idea where my work was left off. Like, frankly, I think it was just like a whole other Megan a few weeks ago that finished up writing. I'm pretty sure before I finished writing, I wrote out the entire plot of the book. I think I mapped everything out for myself, so I'm gonna check on that when I get back. I think this week I'm really just gonna focus on rereading. I'm gonna focus on getting reacquainted with the story, taking some notes, just reading. Wherever you are, I hope you are cozy. If not, get cozy, because we are in the chaos era of my life where I think I'm just gonna be overwhelmed and I'm gonna have a million things to do, and it's all gonna be so wonderful though. So let's get into it. I'm gonna go to the gym now. I'm not gonna take you with me because filming at the gym is just not something I will ever do. Back from the gym, showered, had lunch. It is 1:30 and I'm gonna spend the rest of the afternoon writing, but not actually writing, rereading. I feel like so much of my writing this year has just been rereading this work, but I'm not gonna overthink it. I need to do this in order to get reacquainted with the story. I have already opened the document, and it turns out that I did plot out the entire arc, the entire storyline, which is so great for me now. I'm so happy that I did that. And honestly, that's my biggest piece of advice if you ever find yourselves taking an extended break from writing, which obviously I knew I was going to. Try to map out your work or do something to make it a lot easier to return to. And for me, that is mapping out my work, because now I know exactly what the story is going to be. Obviously, it still might change. It just takes the pressure off of like having to immediately hop back in and come up with creative plot points. I have all the plot points. I'm sure they're gonna get fleshed out, and I'm sure they're gonna expand and all of that fun stuff, but they are there. They are great. I'm so excited to write this. Was just looking through to see how much I've actually written in the story, because like, frankly, like I said earlier, I feel like I forgot everything. I feel like I'm just like starting completely again, even though I know that's not true. And it turns out I have 14 chapters written, which is what I'm gonna do this week. I'm gonna read through those 14 chapters. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of editing. I'm really just gonna like get back into the story. And then probably on Sunday, hopefully I will finish reading this week. And then on Sunday, I'll actually lay down some words, and I'm probably gonna make that into a whole separate vlog. But for now, I am just gonna enjoy reading what I've already written. It just is a really great thing to do, because frankly, like focusing on just reading instead of having to write is very low stakes right now, and that's exactly what my brain needs this week. Whenever I find myself looking to the future and wondering if I'm gonna be able to fit everything in, and wondering how insane school is gonna be and all of that, just take a step back and I realize that I can do anything for an hour. I can focus really hard and get a lot done in a single hour of work, and that's all I need to do. So right now, I've got 2 hours. I have 2 hours where I can just sit and I can focus. I'm not going to scroll. I am not going to allow myself to be distracted. And I'm going to see how much I can get done in those 2 hours. So I hope that that philosophy will still continue. We will see. But that's what I'm telling myself in this moment while feeling overwhelmed. Okay, now I feel like I'm just procrastinating. So I'm going to get to writing/reading.
I did it. I did all the hard things today. I'm just gonna sit on the bed for this little mini update. Returning to the page was a lot easier today than I anticipated, which is great. That is always a pleasant surprise. I managed to read through 4 chapters. My brain is a little bit fried, and to be honest, this time away has made me... It's a mystery noise. This time away has made me really fall back in love with this story though, which is really wonderful to feel. I enjoyed reading it. If you had asked me at the beginning of this year how this story was going, I probably would have hesitated a lot, but reading through, I really like it, and I really feel good about the overall arc of the story. But I'm just tired. I'm just so tired right now. It's been a very big day. I am gonna go and sit under a tree and read this book for a little bit. The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Oh my gosh. This book is so good. This book is so good. You know those types of reads that like the prose just sucks you in and the characters are so good and the story moves at a really pleasant pace and there's often really vivid descriptions. That's what I was craving. I really wanted a book that felt like that. This book is set in Cyprus during the Civil War. Actually, there's dual narratives. It's set in Cyprus during the Civil War, but it's also set in London in the present day-esque, I believe. I think maybe it's like the 2010s. A man who is Greek and a woman who is Turkish fall in love in Cyprus, and then basically it follows their daughter in the present day. I don't want to spoil anything, but it is so good, and I've never read anything like it. I've actually never read anything set in Cyprus or set in Cyprus during the Civil War, so I feel like I'm learning a lot about the history, and the writing is just rich. It is as rich as I needed it to be. There are gorgeous descriptions of food. One of the characters is actually a tree, a fig tree. That's one of the point of views, is a tree, and there's a lot of beautiful writing about trees, and I'm just really enjoying it. It completely sucked me in, and I just want to keep going. So I'm gonna go find a tree and I'm gonna read under it. I have been ready for a really long time. It's way too early to leave for class yet, but I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to just like get there. I hope everything goes smoothly. This week I was not planning on doing any writing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, sitting here realizing that I have all the time in the world in the morning. I feel like I could probably get away with an hour writing. The program coordinator said that this summer portion of this program is really intensive. If you don't know, I'm studying to be a library technician, and I am doing an accelerated program, meaning it is a program that is condensed into a single year. So normally people study this program for 2 years, but because I already have a university degree, I get to condense it into a single year. And so the summer portion is what normally would be an entire year's worth of courses. So I'm learning an entire year's worth of information in the next 4 months. So there's going to be a lot of tests, a lot of assignments. I'm excited, I'm ready, I'm scared, I'm all the things. The miniest of reading updates, because if this is on your TBR, you need to read it immediately. Immediately. It is so good. I finished it last night. This is The Island of Missing Trees. Gosh, it just has everything. It has everything that I love in a book. One of my favorite things about this book is the theme of nature running throughout. Obviously, I love books that talk about war. I feel like that's not a surprise to anybody. I love books centered around war. For some reason, those stories just hit me the hardest. And this book is about the civil war in Cyprus. However, there is such a strong nature theme throughout. Our main character, Kostas, I think is how you pronounce his name, Kostas. I love him. I love him so much. I actually feel like it's been a really long time since I've related so hard to a main character, and I relate to Kostas so much. It was heartbreaking. It's a very difficult read. Obviously, there's a lot of really strong themes about it, about family, about identity, about war and what war does to people. It's also about generational trauma, but centered on nature, which again, I've never read a book that draws nature into so many themes. I feel like I just learned so much, and I actually am gonna look up other books by this author. I really need to read everything that she's written because, yeah, I really liked it. Okay, I am gonna go get ready now, and I probably won't update for the rest of the day because it's gonna be a crazy day. Wish me luck. This is one of those hairstyles that looks cute in person, but then when I see myself, okay, let's get you situated before I start talking. How about that? As I was saying, this is one of those hairstyles that I feel like looks super cute in person, but then on camera, I look insane, which means that I might just look insane in person, but I just think it looks cute. It's been a week. It is exhausting having a jam-packed schedule again, but it feels really good. This morning I had some pie for breakfast, some cherry pie, because it is Tom's birthday, and in this house, on our birthdays, we have pie or cake for breakfast. It is the law, it is essential, and it was delicious. I woke up at 4 a.m. I didn't wake up at 4 a.m. My cats woke me up at 4 a.m. It's something that's been super fun that they've been doing pretty much since we got home from our trip, and I have a feeling it is punishment. And I don't know how long the punishment is going to go on for, but it's been so brutal. It's also the first day of my cycle, and I get terrible cramps. Did not sleep at all last night because I was just in pain. And so that's the energy that we are coming to today. That's the energy of the day. Pain, exhaustion, a little bit of excitement because life is still great and it's a beautiful day and we have a class, but we are very tired. Classes went really well yesterday. I am getting the impression that this is going to be a very intense program. Every week starting next week, I have like 2 to 3 tests or assignments that I have to deal with. So don't know how I'm going to handle it. I think I'm going to be okay, but still it's just a little bit overwhelming to be kind of at the start of the marathon and have no idea what to expect. And that's what I feel like I'm at right now. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to give to studying. Obviously studying is #1 priority, but it's just something that I'm not sure of yet. And I won't know until I kind of get into the program a bit more This is still just the first week, so all of the classes are super chill, but I really like my professors and I really like what I've learned so far. I just love being a student again so much. I love learning. And I would have never left school if it weren't for financial reasons. I would have just kept going because it is such a privilege and I just love it. I love studying so much. I love to learn new things. So I have good vibes. Wednesdays, I only have one class. So I can't decide if I will go work out in the morning to get it over with or if I will sit down and write before my classes. I don't feel like going to the gym or writing this morning. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for a long walk with Tom. We're gonna get a coffee at our local coffee shop. I actually preloaded a gift card for myself before I left with a certain amount of money at a local coffee shop to treat myself guilt-free. This coffee is so good, so I'm really jazzed. And then I think I'm gonna do a little bit of schoolwork before my class. I'm gonna have my class and then I'm gonna do my hour of writing. I want to get through like 4-ish chapters in an hour, which is what I was able to do on Monday. So I think I'll be able to do that no problem. And then that will leave me with 4-ish more chapters until I'm done. And then on Sunday, I'll be able to write again. I don't know if any of that makes sense or is interesting. That's just me planning out my week and being aware of what I still have to do in the story. It's so funny, all the things that you think you already know about writing or that you read online about writing or that you learn about writing that you just don't like apply to your own writing, or it surprises you when it turns out to be true when it comes to your own process. And by that, I'm basically talking about the idea of taking a break on your work in progress and how taking a break can be super beneficial, because going back to it, you're looking at it with fresh eyes and all of those things that people talk about. It's so true for me right now. I am really enjoying this story more and more than I think I have the entire time I was working on it earlier this year. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of fresh eyes. I don't know if it's because I'm inspired because of my trip, or just in general I'm inspired to get back to writing. But taking a break was really good for me, and I feel so ready to tackle this story. I cannot wait to continue writing. Rereading is like very good low stakes, I think, for this week. I don't think I'd be able to actually form words, but let's get into Wednesday. Let's see how long this weird hyper energy lasts because again, I have been going since 4:30 this morning and it is just after 8. I've been up for hours. The one thing that I will say that's kind of nice about waking up super early is that I every morning hear the birds start to sing, and I don't know if you've ever heard that moment, but it is so magical because there's just silence and then all of a sudden a single bird starts singing out, and then his or her little friends join them, and it's so pretty, and it's very magical, and it's the only part that I enjoy and I think it's the only part that I latch onto so I don't lose my mind because I'm waking up so early.
I'm on campus right now and I'm sitting in like a corner in a courtyard and I look absolutely insane because I'm just filming myself. So we're gonna do this at an awkward angle. But hello, hi, it's Thursday. I'm on campus all day. I got here super early, so I got myself a Starbucks, but I'm gonna try so hard not to buy a coffee every single time I have to come in. Oh, the camera's over here. Wow, she's a YouTuber. Hope none of my classmates walk by and see me doing this. That would be a weird first impression. I did not write this morning and I realized that I was planning to, and I just slept in, which is fine because I needed the sleep, but I am so close to being done my story and I just can't wait. One of my favorite things to do is someone's walking by, so I'm just gonna be chill. One of my favorite things to do is to listen to music that reminds me of my story, and the more I work on this story, the more I'm finding music that just like fits so well with the story, and it just gets me so jazzed to write. So trying to find a new routine, and it's a little bit difficult, but I'm just being patient with myself. I'm being patient with everybody else, and we'll find a routine. And if not, it's literally just for a few months, and then it's actually for a year, but the next few months are going to be the hardest part. Hello. I always start talking before I finish putting up the camera, and it's such a funny thing. I'm eating chocolate pudding. Vegan chocolate pudding, believe it or not. It's actually really, really good. I found it in the grocery store looking for afternoon pick-me-ups for school, but I didn't bring any snacks today, which was a terrible idea because I was hungry for like the majority of this day. But believe it or not, the vegan pudding's really good. I'm the type of person that when I eat chocolate, I get it all over my face. I never grew out of that phase. It's really embarrassing. So this is probably a bad idea, but I have a lot of energy right now. I was in classes all day, and I think I'm now going to make some dinner and then curl up and edit this video, at least partially edit this video. I haven't really done a whole lot of writing. I mean, life is life. I'm not gonna like pretend like I'm gonna write every single day, especially not with school. I'm still really happy with my progress this week, and I still think I did a really good job, and I am still gonna wake up early tomorrow morning and read the remainder of the chapters that I want to read before I get back into writing. I actually am going to read, I think I have like 4 left, and I'm going to read 3 of them and leave the very last chapter for myself for Sunday morning, so I can read it and then just dive right into the next part of the story. I think whenever you're like restarting writing after a break, the key for any point in writing is like grace, giving yourself grace, allowing yourself to like ease into things, not trying to force things. I think that writing is constantly, anything in life I feel like for me is a balance between tough love and like forcing yourself to like focus and do the things that are difficult, but also giving yourself grace if it doesn't necessarily go the way that you want it to. And that's my philosophy in writing. Roger and Tom are currently arguing in the kitchen over the fact that it's not quite 5, so Roger isn't going to get fed yet. And Roger is talking back. I'm really excited to start writing words again. I think that I'm in a good place with it. I feel like with school, I'm really forced to be out of my element so much throughout the day, and I think that that's going to be a really good thing for my writing because I won't have any excuses. I won't be able to say, oh, well, I'm not sitting at my desk at home, so therefore I can't focus, or oh, I'm not at a coffee shop, so therefore I can't focus. It will literally be squeezing in times between classes and between assignments and work and all of that, squeezing in time to try to write, and that's really good, I think, for me sometimes. I think it's good for me because it forces me to focus. I think at one point I was talking about how a lot of my writing for the next year is going to be dedicating 1 hour of good solid work to it, and that can be really good when you're actually laying down words, because I think that you just fall into it and then you fall right back out. I don't know if any of this is making sense. I'm just really excited, and while I may not have a very high word count, I don't even know, I think my word count would be probably under 100 just because I've only been editing. I'm still really jazzed, and truly everything is better when you're eating pudding. There's also a bumblebee outside. Hello, bumblebee.